What do you do if your child is sexting? That is a question that we've been asked, and I wanted to answer that very specifically. I don't want to leave any gray area here. The issue with children sexting is that it's illegal, and parents should be very aware that a child having images of other children on their devices in the nude or doing sexual acts is pornography. It's child pornography. So if your child is dealing with sexting online, first of all, you should have had a conversation with your child about this and that it is illegal. The dangers with your children having it on their devices now is that a lot of devices have very low memory on the device itself, and it's actually storing information in the cloud. What does that mean? There's a whole logistical problem with this, in that an image that is taken by your child here is actually saved somewhere else where they can retrieve it. And so checking their device may not always be the best way to do it. You'd have to actually go and check on what's being saved in the cloud in their device, and then you would know whether or not there's images floating around somewhere else. First off, have the discussion with your child about the dangers of that and what the consequences are. And the consequences are severe. I mean, especially for an adult with child pornography, if you're sharing a device with your child and you have the same account and you're doing that for protection, but they're sexting, it may look like you're sexting as an adult. So be very, very cautious of those things. So have the discussion about your child about the consequences of sexting, that it's illegal and inappropriate, obviously, and that no child has consent to share any images of their body. Children underage have no consent rights, and so being able to share those things, they have no say in whether or not that's appropriate. The tricky part is, what do you do as a parent with this? So say my child comes in with a device and there's an inappropriate image on there. You want to delete it, obviously, because you don't want it to spread around or anything like that. You want to talk to your child about that. And there are two different camps on what you can do. Some camps say that you should report this and that you should get law enforcement involved. Other camps of parents say, no, you should not get other camps involved because this is something you should deal with. The problem with this parent approach is that it's more than just between you, your device, and the other child or whoever else is involved. The image itself, once it's taken, could be anywhere and on anyone's device. My recommendation is that it does need to be reported. Now, I'm not going to get a lot of fans for that, but the issue is you're safer if you are able to document some type of corrective action on your part as a parent to this, rather than having this image transferred around, having it reported later, and then having it traced back to you. So the other part is for the safety of everybody involved. It's better because law enforcement will have a better way of dealing with this type of issue and stopping it and being sure that it doesn't continue on. So my recommendation is to move into that direction. Now, I'd be open actually to discussing this with other parents who have differing views. However, this is the safest route, I think, for you and for your child and for anyone else involved in sharing these images. And police departments will know how to address this. They usually have protocol on how to deal with this, and they'll be able to deal with it in an appropriate manner. One thing, though, that I do suggest parents do is that they communicate with the children of whoever else is involved. They communicate with the other parents and let them know that that's what they received. Keeping it to yourself is not helpful. In fact, it's more important for you to reach out and try to make corrective action so it stops and it doesn't happen again. Internet safety, especially with your children, when they have a camera and they're able to share it with friends. Children don't make good choices. They're still developing and they're still learning about the world. But you have a responsibility to talk to your child about the importance of being safe online and the importance of being appropriate online. Once an image is out, it is out, and there is no way that you can bring it back. It's like trying to hold water. You can't. You really can't hold water in your hands. It'll just come through. Having that discussion with your children is super, super important. Again, send me information if you have any questions, or you have a differing point of view, or you would approach it differently. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to hear your point of view on this. For me, and my recommendation as a professional is to err on the side of caution and on the side of protecting the children and the victims who may be involved. And law enforcement is probably the safest place to do that, instead of trying to resolve it here when the information could be anywhere at that point. That's it for me. Visit the Smarter Parenting website for more information about this, especially on the blog section connected to this video, on things to be aware of and things that you can do, and especially how to communicate with your child about sexting and about being appropriate online. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to visit the Smarter Parenting site for more parenting tips and skills that you can use to help your child grow up in a safe environment. That's it for me, and I'll see you again next week.